Pink is positive.
Pink is popular.
Pink is perfect.
Today, we're going to share with you everything that you need to know before you get yourself a pair of pink cowboy boots.
I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig. Welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe and like and comment as always down below. I'm joined by two special guests today who are PhD students, Ria and Amanda. And before we begin, I need to know what is the big deal with pink because I'm really liking wearing it today. Ria, why do you like pink so much?
I think it's just the perfect addition to any look. If you're going out with friends, wear that pink for that perfect splash of color at the bar. Or if you're just having a cozy night in, pink has that soft reflection that can really make the room around you seem just warm and cozy.
You're totally right. I can just see it as you're talking about it. How about you, Amanda? What do you feel?
As PhD students or women that are doing like hard things every day, I think like pink is kind of like a way to say like, hey, we exist here, we are doing this, we are being like as strong as we can and being multitasking. So for me, I think like pink is a way to like express our femininity to the world.
Today, we're going to talk about all of the things that you might want to consider before buying your own pink pair of boots. I also need to mention that this video is sponsored by Ariat. All of these pink boots that are featured today are from Ariat. So again, thank you to Ariat for supporting the channel. Let's start out with function versus fashion. All right, let's start with the fashion side of things because that's the fun side, and we have two fashion boots here today. This is the Casanova 16-inch tall boot, and over here we have the Dixon. So let's break down the details really quick in this short rundown.
All right, to get us started, we have this Casanova boot. It is in the tall fashion boot style, and as you can see, it is hot pink suede leather with a stylish snip toe. It is 16 inches tall, and it has this very functional side zip to make it easier to get the boots on. It also features a 2.5-inch heel, a leather outsole, a leather lining, and a non-removable cushion inside for comfort. This comes out at a price of $269.95. Kind of first reactions to this boot. The moment I saw them online, I was like, oh my gosh, these are glorious. I had just finished watching the Barbie movie, so I was like, okay, this maps right on for me. Jumping into the fit. I am usually a size 7.5 for any type of boot or shoe that I wear, so this bottom portion fits really, really well at a size 7.5. So I was able to stay true to fit in that regard. One thing I will say is I usually have issues fitting into really tall boots because the calves never seem quite to fit with my calves. I briefly considered ordering a size 7 because it did take it down just a little bit on the calf diameter, but I ultimately decided to go with the true fit on the bottom because I didn't want to compress my toes. And so obviously like that was a great fit there. That is just one consideration to keep in mind. I don't really mind though because they do still fit better than most that I've tried on that go all the way like up my calf. So I think it would make great for any special occasion or any day when you just feel like popping off at the office, like quite frankly. Overall, great first impression, pretty good fit. And I'm pretty impressed by this Casanova boot.
That's a great point to bring up, Ria, because it is a little bit of a wider top. And that's something that my wife and I have criticized Ariat before, is that sometimes the tops don't get wide enough for her calves in particular. So like there is some sort of like nice range. I feel like the sweet spot, maybe this is a little bit wide for that sweet spot, but also good for many of the ladies to remember out there. If your calves are a little bit on the wider side, then you might fit fine into some of these boots as well. Now let's talk about the Dixon boot.
Well, now we go with the Dixon. So these are short fashion boots. The color is pastel pink, full grain leather, a stylish snip toe, as you can see here, 6 inches tall, 2.5 inches heel, leather outsole, leather lining, non-removable cushion inside for comfort, and the price is $199.95. So my first impressions about it, I love the color too. The color is so light, it's a pink, but the perfect light pink. I think like for going maybe with a dress, this would like look perfectly. Also because the color is kind of like going for neutral in some sense. You can fit it with different colors. I also can imagine like maybe like a plain top, like white top, blue jeans, and these totally make the difference. Also, it was easy to put my feet on, and I appreciate that because when you are like running to classes or doing like a lot of things at the same time, you have to need shoes that you don't have to like waste a lot of time to put on. I love the design, and also I think it's the perfect like heel size because it's not, so you can wear this for all day and feel comfortable enough.
I love the fact that you brought up the heel size because it didn't feel too tall for you.
Yeah.
Like you can stay in them all day.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as a student, we have to like walk almost every day around the campus. So having a heel that makes you feel like chic, but at the same time makes you feel like comfortable, it's perfect.
Thank you for that rundown and your first impression on that boot. Now let's talk more about pink functional boots, maybe like cowboy working style boots that we have here.
Next up, we have this Futurity Boon boot. It has a smoky rough out leather foot, a cutter square toe, which means that it's a little bit on the slimmer side. It is 13 inches tall. It has this glossy pink top, and it has 1 3/4 inch heel. It has a leather outsole that is tech step, and it has a pink leather lining. It has a removable cushion inside, and it is coming out at a price of $249.95. So my initial thoughts on this boot was kind of surprised when I saw how shiny it was. When I looked at this online, I thought, oh, so it's probably more of a matte. But as soon as it arrived, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like the shine was just in my face. I think that's good. Like that is a plus. I know the way I said that sounded like, but no, it's a plus because I do think that this helps to make it either a statement piece, or I can imagine wearing my jeans over it and then you just see this, and I feel like that's much more of a working style boot and something that I could wear more to school. And honestly, these felt even roomier at the calf area than the other boots did. I do like that this boot seems to have it all. It seems to have this part here where it's more of like, oh, you're not getting that sneak peek if you hide it away. But then as soon as you unleash this, you're like, oh, it's Barbie, it's pink, it's beautiful. My initial thoughts about what you can wear this with, I think it's weird, but I feel like this could almost pair a little bit less frequently than the other boots. Because you have this two-toned pattern here, you have to be able to wear something that will complement both, which I think is a little bit more different than when you're looking at a boot that is just a single shade. So that kind of stood out to me as I was trying to figure out, okay, like what would I want to wear with this on a daily basis? What would kind of be the look that I'm trying to create here? Like what is the statement that I'm trying to make?
I love that you said that it's something that you can unleash. You know, the pink top, like if you were to wear your jeans over it, then it just looks like a regular like work boot or boot that you would wear on any day. But then underneath you just have that, and on the right day, the right feeling, you just unleash it.
Yeah.
I also remember you mentioning that when you tried these boots on, they felt a little bit more big than maybe this one. Do you remember that?
Yes. One thing I emphasize with the other pink boot is that I really felt like it was the perfect fit, not too snug, not too big. I definitely felt a little bit roomier here. Like I could almost move my foot forward and back a little. I ordered a size 7.5 for this, my usual fit for shoes, but I think maybe sizing down half a size to a 7 would have been the right fit for me in terms of the foot.
And that's something that a lot of people have an issue with when going from a more narrow toe, like a snip toe, to a square toe. So a lot of times people will have to size down just because there's more room in a square toe, even though it's the same size, like 7.5, 7.5. I know I have to do that with boots when I size down from a more narrow toe to a square toe, but it's not always the case. I know several people, including my wife, when she gets Ariat boots, she orders the same size all the time. So it might be an issue that you face when ordering pink boots or any boots online, depending on the toe shape, but it's definitely something to keep in mind for sure.
So perfect. Now we go with Donatella. Full quilt ostrich leather, white square toe and double stitch welt. 13 inches tall, metallic pink tops, 1/4 inches heel, hybrid outsole, dual pro rubbering areas, experience more wear, metallic gold leather lining, removable cushion insole, and the price is $499.95. So all my first impressions, like the color, the gold pink, like I completely love it because it's I think in comparison with all these boots, it's more wearable, like because I have brown, have pink. I like that it's kind of shiny, but not too much shiny. And also, as Ria mentioned, like you can wear it like with like your jeans in the top, and then you only see the brown, or you can like put it your jeans inside, and you can like put a little bit of color in your outfit. Also, I think it's really kind of elegant in some way. In comparison with the other boots are a little heavier. One thing that I kind of like will improve about this model is that I would like a narrow toe. But also, like, at least for me, I like when my shoes have a lot of space. So for me, it wasn't a problem to put, like, the size of this part. But I think it's based on, like, what things do you like in your, how your shoes fit on you.
So you were experiencing the same thing that Ria did, Amanda, with this feeling a little bit bigger than those
Oh,
belts.
yeah. I feel this a little bigger, but was not uncomfortable. I love that I have a space. Because I think, like, for me at least, when I have boots that really like squeeze my leg, and sometimes it makes me sweat during the day, and I don't like that. So I really appreciate when they are big than my size.
Another reason that you noticed that it was a little bit heavier is because it has this rubber midsole here, and that goes to the outsole. So this is a hybrid outsole. Like you mentioned, it's there to, protect against excessive wear, because on some of these other boots that are just all leather, right? Leather will eventually wear through. And I've talked to people who have had the Dixons, and they've had like several resoles done on their Dixons. So this is going to last, or that's the idea, is that it's going to last much longer before you need a resole. And it also gives you a little bit extra grip. Unfortunately, it does make the boot a little bit heavier in this case, but was it a pain to wear?
No,
Too
not
heavy?
at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the ostrich leather?
So I didn't know that was part of the leather. I thought it was like an addition of the like design. So I find that really interesting. I'm not familiar with the leather, but I like also the contrast of textures here. I think it looks pretty.
So now that we did the fashion versus functional, we definitely have two of each here. Let's talk about style and design, which we did a little bit already, but let's dive a little bit more deeply into it and talk about like a pastel pink versus a more hot pink. What do you guys feel about the differences between these two styles, at least in color?
I think if you are someone that really like statement pieces, or like really into fashion and really like care about your outfits every day, I think this is the piece for you, because I think it's like a statement and it's beautiful. The color sometimes it's kind of like more difficult to wear than these, because these ones are for the girl that wanted something easy that they can like fit on their outfit. So I think this is more like kind of a piece that you can use like 2 or 3 times in the week, and this is more like one time in the week because it's kind of a statement piece, and always people are going to remember this one. Yeah,
I agree with Amanda. Definitely, you'll be more accountable to the people that you're around. So maybe if you see different groups of people on different days, you can get away with wearing them more frequently, but I think that'll definitely stand out in their minds. One other thing I will say is, so like, I'm definitely a fan of like the hot pink. That's definitely more my aesthetic. But since these are both available, so this could be available in hot pink or the light pink, and this could also be available in the hot pink or the light pink, I think that because of that, like, you could end up like kind of mixing and matching depending on what you want to do, and maybe you can get more like wear out of them. So yeah, that's just my thought. I think that the hot pink would look great in either tall or a shorter version.
I love that idea of having, both of them in their different colors, so you could do whatever you want on whatever day. Can there ever be too much pink? Like, is this too much pink here on any one day, or is it just like, let's go all the pink all the time like Barbie does throughout the entire movie?
I've thought a lot about this in my life. Can there be too much of a statement color? And I think the important thing to keep in mind is, no, there cannot be too much pink, but there can be too much pink if you're trying to make it a focal point of the outfit, like a statement piece. So for example, let's say you want people to notice these boots. If you're wearing hot pink pants and a hot pink top,
That's true.
it's all gonna blend like some bodysuit, and no one's really gonna pick up on the boot as much as you'd like them to. Versus if you make that the focal point and you wear something like really simple like this, like dark wash jeans and a white shirt, then you're going to be able to get that impact. Like you have to be able to accentuate it by complementing it with the other colors that you pick for your wardrobe. So maybe not something like super patterned, like if you wanted to stand out too, right? Because then people are gonna be like, oh, equal attention to the shirt and the boot, rather than all of the focus on the boot. So that's kind of my take on it.
I love that. What do you think,
Yeah,
Amanda?
I'm agree with that, but I also think so clothes are for having fun. So for me at least, there is not like too much pink or too much any color. Like if you like it, you can wear it. I have a pink boots already, and I always wear it when I'm done having a good day, because I go outside my house and everyone is like, oh my god, I love your boots, and that like I am having a great day if they compliment my boots.
I love that you brought that point up, that you kind of are trying to strategize how many compliments you get, because I definitely do that too.
Yeah.
If I'm having a bad week, I'm like, man, I gotta pull out one of my best pairs of boots, and maybe some people will notice and say nice boots to me, and then that just makes the whole day better.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Let's talk about just the pink tops for a second on these other two boots. It can be something that you just unleash, but is it okay to do this, or should you always wear your jeans inside and just always have it unleashed?
In my opinion, if you're wearing these boots, I think the best way is put it your jeans inside, because there is too much work doing this. Like I feel like it's not respectful for the boot to use like your jeans outside. If you put it inside, you can see like all the design, all the details.
That's awesome to say. Respect the boot, you know?
Yeah, respect the boot. Yeah.
Show it off.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ria?
I agree with Amanda that it's definitely good to respect the boot, but I will also say, why do you have to choose? Like, you technically don't. You could play this like meeting by meeting, minute by minute,
That's
hour
true.
by hour. Like,
Nice.
these boots are so versatile that you could start your day with your pants tucked in, and then you're like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it. And then you can like pull your jeans over them. And then later in the day, if you're feeling like making that statement again, you can put them right back in. So I think that the
That's
great
true.
part of these two pairs of boots is that you're able to kind of make that decision dynamically. You don't have to choose at the start of your day. You can just kind of feel it out. If you're having a bad day and you need those compliments, pull those jeans right back in. But if you're feeling, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, I feel like I just want to blend, then you can pull them right back out.
Let's talk about the fit and the comfort. So I'm just going to talk about just Western fit in general. So when you try a pair of Western boots, you want to make sure that it's snug at the instep. So this is the instep of the boot right here. It also needs to be snug at the widest part of the foot, but not tight, because you don't want to pinch your toes. Also, you want to make sure that you have just a little bit of heel slip. Because there's no laces, if you don't have heel slip, you'll end up getting blisters. I know it's a kind of a backwards way of thinking, but you need a little bit of heel slip, probably about a finger's width or 2 fingers width of heel slip. Then also another thing to think about, if you have higher insteps, so if your foot just kind of has just a little bit more bone up here, which is very common, you might have a little bit of trouble fitting into boots with shorter heels. So if that is a case for your foot, then higher heels, you're able to make that turn much more easily. So think about if your foot does have a higher instep or a lower instep, the heel size will make a very big difference in that as well. We also talked about the leg opening being too tight or too loose, so that's just something to keep in mind. It seems like this one is very proportional and can probably fit a lot of different calf styles. Unless you have like more thin calves, then it might be a little bit more roomy, like what Ria is experiencing. There's also a difference between the pointed toe and the square toe. Like, that's a very stylistic option. Usually pointed toes are a little bit more fashion and square toes are a little bit more functional. People usually like square toes if they're working on a ranch all day long, and pointed toes for more fashion statements. At least that's how it is nowadays. People have these arguments all the time about what is fashion and what is more function. We would love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. Let's now talk about the price and budget, because that is also very important when shopping for pink cowboy boots. All right, so you need to think about what your budget is before going into purchasing a pair of cowboy boots because it definitely ranges. You can get a pair of cowboy boots for like $50 or all the way up to $50,000 if you wanted to go custom, right? All of these boots here are between $200 and $500. And of course, everybody has their own budget, and you definitely want to determine that ahead of time. Some boots below $150 might not last as long as some of these that are above $200 or $500, or if you really wanted to go crazy and $5,000, they're not going to last as long as those ones. So usually the higher the budget, the longer the boots will last. What is your perceived budget if you were to go shopping right now for a pair of cowboy boots?
I feel like if I really wanted to save up and invest in a pair, I would probably be around that $250 mark because I do like investing in shoes that last. But I don't necessarily know that I would spend like $500. But I also do like the style and the shape of the toe better on the $250 boots. So maybe if I truly loved the $500, that would be a splurge for me. But I think that I'm tapping at around that $250 range.
Yeah, I think for me it's also $250. But I think my problem is that when I see something that I really love, like I don't care about how much is the price, especially with clothes, because sometimes you just keep thinking about that clothes that you didn't buy because it was too expensive for you. But in this case, like if they are going to last a lot of time, I love the design, I can invest like 300 maybe. Yeah, but also we are PhD students, so
right?
It's kind of difficult to think about more money than that.
It's also important to think about the type of leather that is used, because ostrich leather is considered an exotic leather. And exotic leathers come with higher price tags since they're usually a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. Most ostrich leather comes from South Africa, and unlike these other leathers, which can be found in North America pretty easily. So usually that affects the cost quite a bit. Talking about longevity here, and $250 is a great price range to have a long-lasting boot. And part of the reason a boot can last long is because how it's made. And this is a Goodyear welt construction. So this part right here, where the stitching is the welt, and then underneath there, that's how you sew the sole to the boot itself. And this method of construction allows this boot to be resoled several times. And I've had a pair of boots that have been resoled 6 times. So over the past 10, 12 years. So it definitely can increase the longevity and the life of a boot significantly. When you do that, you break in a pair of boots so much that it's just, you never want to wear anything else. Have you ever wore a pair of boots that much where you had them repaired, or maybe it's a cheaper pair of boots that you wish you could have had repaired because you love them so much?
Yes, unfortunately this happened to me about a year ago. So my aesthetic is the red boot. That is my absolute favorite, so you can usually see me walking around campus with a pair of red boots on. But the pair before the pair that I currently have had a very tragic death in Michigan when it was pouring. It was a really rainy day, and I'd kind of noticed that my socks were getting wet for a while now, and I thought maybe it's coming in the top, but I never looked at the soles, took my boots off, and I realized the bottom was coming completely off, and there was a hole, and so the water was truly just coming in from the bottom, which really should have hit me before that. I don't know why that thought process did not occur. I think I was blinded by my love for those particular boots.
I understand.
But yes, I wish those could be repaired, but they were cheap. Let's be honest, nothing was gonna fix that hole.
What a bummer. Have you ever had that happen, Amanda?
Oh, so I have it, but I usually don't go to repair. I buy a new ones, and that happened with me with sneakers. I love my sneaker, and now I have a pair of shoes are pink, and I know as soon as they get old, I'm going to buy another one. Yeah, because I think it's also at least if you don't have this quality of shoes that you can repair one, it's sometimes more pricey to make it repair than have it buy another one.
Before we sign off, we need to talk about the favorite boots of the day. We got 4 here to choose from. So Amanda, what were your favorite boots that you experienced today?
Oh, these ones. These
Why is
ones
that?
are my favorite boots because I think I can wear it with different outfits. I can wear it with skirts, I can wear it with jeans, and also I can go to the office with this and also to a party. So I think they fit in different like events. So I love it. I love the color.
These are definitely my favorites. Like I said, the moment I laid eyes on them, I thought this is just so perfect. This is so representative of 2023 and really just my inner need for like statement pieces was like manifested
No
in
doubt.
this boot. I was like, my closet has been screaming for this.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the pair that caught my eye and will keep my eye and is hands down my favorite of the day.
Great favorites. I love your choices. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments what's your favorite boot here that we covered today. And all of these are available at the links in the description if you're interested in purchasing any of these. Thanks again to Ariat for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Thank you to Ria and Amanda for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Peace. Have a good one.
Pink cowboy boots are a statement and a vibe, and can be perfect for any type of girl. With different styles, you'll be sure to find the perfect pair to unleash to the world. Thank you so much for watching today. Why don't you check out this other Cowgirl Boots video up here? Or I got a music video down here I think you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe up here, and I will see you next time. You're the best. Peace. Have a good one.